A member of the Golden lineage returns to the Orange. Fans react to the return of GMAC. And a Sunday afternoon stabbing outside the rescue mission sends a 41-year-old man to the hospital. The latest information as the shelter continues to battle overcrowding. And breaking tonight, federal agents are preparing to deploy to airports across the country. But Border Czar Tom Homan isn't saying which ones. Coming up on NBC3 News at 11.
You're watching NBC3 News at 11. Winner of the Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence.
The search for a head coach for Syracuse men's basketball is nearly complete. Welcome to the news at 11. I'm Hannah Devanny. Syracuse University is finalizing a deal with one of its former players, Gerry McNamara, to come home and be the next head coach of the program. The story first broke earlier today when ESPN's Pete Thamel announced that Syracuse was finalizing a deal with the current Siena head coach. We are still waiting for the official announcement from the university, but support has already begun to pour in from fellow Orange alumni. McNamara was a part of the group that won the 2003 national championship at Syracuse, and in the 2 years he has spent as head coach of Siena, he has completely turned its program around. Sports director Samantha Croston is in the studio right now after speaking with one of his former teammates. Sam?
Yeah, Eric Devendorf, who is also a former SU guard, played with McNamara for 1 year. Devendorf was a freshman, McNamara was a senior. He tells me that as a player, what defined GMAC was his tenacity, and that's a trait that you can expect to see him display if he does become SU's next head coach. And you won't find a better example of tenacity than what GMAC has done in his past 2 years as Siena's head coach. The year before he arrived, Siena had just 4 wins. In his first season with the program, GMAC improved that win total by 10 games. And this past season, he led the Saints to its first tournament appearance in 16 years. More than that, he nearly took down the top-seeded team in the field. Siena fell to #1 Duke by just 6 points. On the Orange Zone podcast, our CNY Central sports team discussed the hire. It's high risk, but it's also high reward.
I think it's really a risk to hire a guy who has 2 years of head coaching experience at a school like Siena, right? That's a risk. You don't know if Gerry McNamara is going to be a fantastic head coach at a Power 4 school. You took a risk. But the reward, if it works out, and Gerry McNamara is the coach here for the next 30 years, and he's the next Jim Boeheim, and his name's on the streets and the building, and the feeling surrounding that is going to be completely irreplaceable because he's an alumni and he was the guy to do it.
For more discussion on Gerry McNamara and the state of the SU men's basketball program, check out the Orange Zone podcast, available on YouTube or wherever you listen. The other big news about the deal, as reported by ESPN, one thing that was made clear in the hiring process is that Syracuse will be competitive in NIL with a projected budget in the top third of the ACC. Again, we're waiting for an official statement from the university, but it is great to hear those reports that the next head coach should have a healthy NIL budget to work with. Hannah, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. And we have meteorologist Josh Kozlowski outside on the weather deck. Josh, it was raining earlier today. Are we expecting the same thing for tonight?
The answer is no, Hannah. We have no new, steady rain or even light rain in the area. I'm talking drops, drizzle, mist, a little bit of fog, maybe some flurries, and that's all we have going on. Wet surfaces trying to freeze up, too. To the maps we go. Triple Doppler radar, sponsored by Charles Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical. You can see a little white blotch over Onondaga County. There could be a couple flurries floating along. Same thing down towards, say, Cortland County and parts of the Finger Lakes. Some green down towards Binghamton. A couple sprinkles, late drops possible there. Air temperature at freezing, literally freezing right now. The airport in Syracuse, Cortland, Ithaca, and Hamilton. Sub-freezing 31 Fulton and 33 just above freezing in Rome. Overnight low forecast 27 here in Syracuse. Watch out for some areas of dense fog in the Deer. Flakes and drops, clouds, little bit of sun tomorrow, just a little bit. High of 36 with a brisk breeze. Outside right now, Stanley Law Skywatch, Regency Towers view. It's cold, wet, damp, and dark, of course. We'll talk about the warmest day of the week, Hannah. I know you're excited about that. It's coming up.
Thanks, Josh. And continuing coverage of an alarming event in Senate yesterday. Finger Lakes 1 reports that multiple fire departments and ambulance crews responded to Owens Brockway glass container in the town of Senate yesterday. This is just outside of Auburn. Finger Lakes 1 says units from Senate, Throop, Auburn, Weedsport, and Aurealis all responded to the incident. This is a developing story. We'll tell you more as we learn more. And happening today in central New York, the Syracuse police are investigating a stabbing that took place near the rescue mission this afternoon. A 41-year-old man was found with multiple wounds across his abdomen and another to his chest. He's now in stable condition at Upstate Hospital, and he is expected to survive. The incident comes as the mission is facing some of the highest demand in recent history. You can read more at CNYCentral.com. And a local fundraiser brought kids from across central New York together to support pediatric cancer research. From shaving heads to playing basketball, more than 400 children attended the St. Baldrick's event. It lasted for 13 hours, raising their goal of $100,000.
This is Buckets for St. Baldrick's 2026. It's our 5th year of this event, and it is just 13 hours now of nonstop basketball. We got kids from 2nd through 8th grade competing in a 3v3 style tournament and raising money for childhood cancer research while they do it. So yeah.
And tonight, fans are also discussing the possibility of former Orange star Gerry McNamara returning, this time as head coach, and what that could mean for the program. Tonight, why many believe he could be the right fit. New at 11, Isabel Dougherty reports.
We're out here talking to fans, and the buzz isn't just about March Madness. It's also about the possibility of Gerry McNamara returning to Syracuse. As the tournament continues, many fans say their attention is also on what comes next for Syracuse and who could lead the program forward.
We want Gerry to come back and be a coach for SU basketball. I'd like to keep it in the family as well as the Bayhams, I believe, do as well. So want to keep it in the Syracuse circle and hopefully move forward with better times.
And while there's some interest in a new and fresh direction, many say McNamara's success and experience still make him a compelling choice.
I do, and I'm optimistic about it. With that being said, I think that the fan base wouldn't mind maybe a little new blood, but I think if someone's going to get it done, it's going to be Gerry, especially what he did with Siena this year.
Others point to his time with the program, saying his background and coaching style could be a natural fit for this team.
This guy dedicated himself both as a player and an assistant coach, and I think embodies like a lot of the ethos of a Central New York team. He's from a blue-collar Pennsylvania area, and I think that translated really well to Syracuse.
Fans we spoke to say they would love to see McNamara return back to Syracuse, and his coaching style could bring a lot to the team next season. Reporting in Syracuse, I'm Isabel Dougherty.
Thanks, Isabel. And coming up, college kids are coming back from spring break this weekend, but if you're on an international flight, you may want to prepare for ice. Josh?
Okay, Hannah, we made up to 52 degrees at Syracuse Hancock Airport today. It's a couple degrees above, a little bit above average. What about the 60s, 70s, and 80s to our south and west? Can we get any of that warmth in our area? I answer that with my 7-day forecast coming up.
Breaking tonight, a funding standoff in Congress has created a perfect storm for travelers. Again this weekend, flyers facing long lines at security, TSA screeners still working without pay as no deal has been reached by lawmakers to end a partial government shutdown. Skylar Henry reports from one of the airports seeing the worst lines in the entire country.
Chaos and frustration at many of the nation's airports as TSA lines snake through terminals. In New Orleans, the line stretched into the parking garage with no pre-check or priority lanes open.
Water.
At Atlanta's airport, bottles of water are being handed out to wary travelers. Here we met Julie Curtis, in town for her son's wedding. After 4 hours in line, she and her family missed their flight home.
We've just been standing and seeing our feet are killing us, and my husband has a heart condition on top of that.
Now the Trump administration says ICE officers will be stationed at hotspot U.S. airports starting Monday to assist with TSA screenings. They will undergo some training between now and tomorrow.
They run those same type of security machines at the southern border, right? Packages come through or people come through.
50,000 TSA officers are going unpaid due to a partial government shutdown. Lawmakers at an impasse to fund the Department of Homeland Security, triggered by Democrat outrage at ICE tactics in Minneapolis. 2 Americans were killed by ICE officers. Democratic lawmakers are demanding officers unmask and wear IDs.
If they come here where it's going to make a lot of people scared to travel.
ICE will keep us safe, and I don't have a problem with ICE agents.
Today, the president of the union that represents TSA officers slammed the idea of ICE at airports, saying TSA officers deserve to be paid, not replaced by untrained armed agents who have shown how dangerous they can be.
We haven't heard exactly which airports will see ICE agents tomorrow, but we do know that there are 20 U.S. airports that haven't had to worry about any of this because they have private security, both big and small airports that include international airports in San Francisco and Kansas City. Of course, that private security is under federal oversight. Skyler Embry, CBS News, Atlanta.
Coming up, the ongoing government shutdown canceling thousands of flights and delaying even more. What you should know if you're traveling soon. The government shutdown is causing airports across the country to experience major delays. Since the shutdown started on February 14th, TSA workers are set to miss their second full paycheck next week if lawmakers do not come to an agreement over the funding of the Department of Homeland Security. Isabel Dougherty reports.
TSA staffing shortages are raising questions about what travelers could see in airports like Syracuse. We're asking passengers about wait times and how they're preparing ahead of time. Major airports across the country facing heavy wait times. Here in Syracuse, flyers not seeing those effects.
I just flew home last week, just for the week, and I am pre-TSA, and in Florida, Punta Gorda, I only waited less than 20 minutes.
At the same time, many say they feel for TSA workers working without pay. The Department of Homeland Security reporting that so far, 366 TSA workers have quit their jobs since the partial shutdown.
I don't know why TSA is included. This has happened so many times. It's ridiculous that it's still included in the shutdown of the government.
That empathy showing up in small ways, with some travelers even trying to support screeners directly.
Oh, I have a lot of empathy for them. Yeah, I feel bad for them. I actually brought some gift cards. I hope they take them.
TSA's Acting Deputy Administrator Adam Stahl saying some smaller airports could close if the shutdown continues for much longer.
That is a fear. That is definitely a fear. Syracuse is so convenient. I live in Baldwinsville, so having to travel to Albany or Buffalo, that is a concern. And I'm telling you, the TSA, they are working hard. You can tell they are. Understaffed, but they're doing wonderful. Kindness goes a long way.
TSA says arriving early and being prepared can keep lines moving, even as staffing varies. Travelers say they're building in extra time just to be safe. Reporting in Syracuse, I'm Isabel Dougherty.
Thanks, Isabel. And taking you over to Ithaca, here is a look at Taganic Falls. It's one of the highest waterfalls in the Northeast, one of my favorites. And early spring is an exceptional time to visit, despite the gross overcast weather. Even on a gray and rainy day, photojournalist Jabari Stancil can make anything look beautiful, just like him. Thank you, Jabari. And we have meteorologist Josh Kozlowski back outside on the weather deck. Josh, you teased me a little bit. You told me that we're going to see some sunshine this week and a little bit of warmer weather. Did you lie? What's the truth here?
Hannah, I'm not here to lie. I'm here to give it straight, the facts about the forecast, so you can make some choices and decisions based on that forecast. It's just we're going to have some sunny days, some dry days, but they may not fall in line with the warmest days of the week. You'll see what I mean on the 7-day forecast here in a few minutes. But first, reports of some fog down towards Ithaca right now. Visibility reported as a quarter of a mile as of 11 p.m. Half a mile visibility in Cortland, 9-mile visibility here in Syracuse, and Elmira reporting 3 miles of visibility down in that part of New York State. So that could be a hazard maybe in your neighborhood overnight. Watch out for the deer, especially the rural roads that are not well lit. That fog could be locally dense, maybe in just one neighborhood or two. Triple Doppler radar sponsored by Charles Heating, Air, Plumbing, Electrical. A flake, a drop, some drizzle, mist perhaps in some areas here as we go through the rest of the night. I want to get right to Futurecast and track the wind chills. Yeah, you're thinking, okay, spring, We're talking about wind chills, yes, at least for Monday and maybe even part of Tuesday. So we go through the night by 7 a.m., wind chills right here, teens to near 20 degrees. So you may want to dress like I have, the gloves on, the winter coat, not the spring jacket, as it's going to feel colder than maybe you're thinking it will be for the morning time. Then by afternoon, wind chills will rise into the mid and upper 20s. We fast forward into Tuesday morning, do it all over again. Some wind chill examples, Kaz, Tully, Cortland, feeling like 16 degrees Tuesday morning. Syracuse, 22 degrees, that real field temp. And then we'll get the real field temps up in the 30s at least in the afternoon. Future casting through the night, lots of clouds, maybe some fog, represented by the gray shading here. Lows, mid-upper 20s, below freezing. Wet surfaces could be icing up. Then by afternoon, some breaks in the cloud deck and a high temperature there in the mid and upper 30s. All right, the week ahead weather looking like this. Temperatures for tomorrow, mid-upper 30s is the air temp, but the feel-like temperatures, teens in the morning, 20s in the afternoon. Then for Tuesday, maybe a few morning lake snow showers or lake flurries. Otherwise, partly sunny, 42. Wednesday, getting close to 50. Some sun, some clouds thickening up, some rain. Thursday morning with a warm front, Thursday afternoon, evening with a rumble of thunder with a cold front, 56, the warmest day. We get colder heading towards the weekend. Hannah.
Thanks, Josh. Next in sports, we have more on Gerry McNamara. What has prepared SU's basketball's rumored next head coach for the job?
Freshman from Scranton, Pennsylvania, number 3, Gerry McNamara.
Gerry McNamara is coming home. Welcome into sports. I'm Ashley Wenskoski. According to multiple reports, Syracuse University is working to finalize a deal to make McNamara SU men's basketball's next head coach. GMAC, as he's known to the fan base, has orange roots that run deep. The Scranton native is one of the most well-respected players in SU history and was on the floor for Syracuse's lone national title in 2003. He was a critical part of the win over Kansas, sinking 6 three-pointers in the first half alone. After his playing career ended, McNamara joined Jim Boeheim as an assistant coach for nearly 15 years. He stayed on staff to work alongside Adrian Autry when he took over in 2023 before departing to lead his own program at Siena. In just 2 seasons, McNamara transformed a Siena team that won just 4 games the year prior to his arrival. This year, the Saints won 23 games and a conference tournament title, earning the program's first NCAA tournament berth since 2010. Not only did Siena compete in the Big Dance, they nearly knocked off top-seeded Duke in their first-round matchup on Thursday. On Friday, McNamara spoke about his future as Siena returned home.
I mean, the dust hasn't even settled for me. You know, we haven't even gotten home yet, and you know, I'd be lying if I said I was over the game. I'm not. It's going to be one that sticks with me forever because I wanted it for them. I think it would have been an incredible story for them to have. But I'm very happy here. I've said that. I'm very, very happy where I am and love this group, love this place, love this school. This is where I got an opportunity here. I did exactly what I wanted to. And, you know, I'm very, very pleased with where I am.
Former players reacted this afternoon to the news on social media, with guys like Buddy Boeheim, Joe Girard, and Eric Devendorf voicing their support for the hire. We expect the deal to become official in the coming days, and we'll keep you updated as things continue to develop. Over to the women's side of the ball, Syracuse has advanced in the NCAA tournament and will face a familiar foe on Monday night. The Orange will take on UConn on Monday in the round of 32.
No, it's the best team in the country, in my opinion, and they're very talented. The fan base is going to be ridiculous, and Gino's a Hall of Fame coach as well, and they got 3 All-Americans on their team, and it's insatiable, right?
SU took down Iowa State in Saturday's first-round matchup. Gino Auriemma and the Huskies have ended SU's season in both of their past 2 tournament appearances, both 2021 and 2024. The Orange will hope for a different outcome on Monday. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock over on ESPN. And to the lacrosse field, number 18 Syracuse men's lacrosse topped number 13 Georgetown 18-12 this afternoon at the Dome. It was a game full of offensive firepower, with SU using a second quarter surge to take the win. Michael Leo notched a career-high 5 goals. Goalie Jimmy McCool also grabbed 17 saves. The Orange improved to 8-2 overall and will host number 11 Duke at the Dome next Saturday. But for more on the potential hire of Gerry McNamara, Samantha Croston and I have a new episode of the Orange Zone podcast that's currently available on all platforms. Hannah.
Thanks, Ashley. And here's Josh with the final weather check.
Okay, Hannah and Ashley, the rest of this night, it's going to be cold, wet, and damp. Low temperatures down in the 20s near 30. Here's a final check on the 7-day forecast for the week ahead weather. High tomorrow, 37, but feeling like the 20s after morning wind chills in the teens. Trying to get a little bit sun out in the afternoon. Tuesday, some morning flakes, partly sunny, 42. Wednesday, 50 degrees. Sun starts the day, then it gets cloudier. Some rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning with a warm front. And we go up to the 50s. I just took a look at some new computer models. Some of them are saying closer to 60 or warmer possible Thursday if we can get more sun out and a gusty southwest wind. So that's the warmest day of the week. But then we got to deal with some rain, maybe a couple of storms Thursday evening with a strong cold front. Friday morning, cold enough for some wet flakes. That 30-degree high might be a morning high, ending up in the 20s in the afternoon. That's colder than tomorrow. Then Saturday, a couple morning light snow showers, partly sunny, cold 36, also like tomorrow. And then Sunday looks mostly okay, some sun, and a high of 43. What a first week of spring weather, Hannah. What do you think about that?
I'm not happy about that. I need something a little bit warmer, Josh, but thank you. That is the news at 11. I'm Hannah Devanny. Thanks for joining us. Have a lovely night.